Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Man Industries India Limited Q2 FY22 earnings conference call. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then zero on your touchtone phone. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Mahantesh from Man Industries. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. Mahantesh.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mahantesh, Manager Investor Relations from Man Industries India Limited. I welcome you all to the Q2 and H1 FY22 earnings conference call of Man Industries India Limited. I have with me from the management Dr. R.C. Mansukani, Chairman, Mr. Nikhil Mansukani, Managing Director, Mr. Ashok Gupta, the Chief Financial Officer, and Mr. Jatin Shah, Company Secretary. We will have brief opening remarks from the management followed by Q&A. Please note that this call may contain some forward-looking statements involving risks and uncertainties. Listeners are requested not to put any undue reliance on the facts presented during the call. With this, I hand over the call to Mr. Nikhil Mansukani, the Managing Director of the company, for the opening remarks.
Thank you, Mahantesh. Good afternoon, everyone, and a warm welcome to the Q2 and H1 FY22 earnings conference call. During the past few months, the oil prices have climbed to a multi-year high on account of a pickup in economic activities post-lockdown. There has been a strong demand of oil and gas from the Asian and European countries. Also, the OPEC Plus are sticking to the plans of only a marginal increase in supply. All this put together has led to the rise in price of oil and gas in the international market. This is a positive development as investments are expected to increase in oil and gas infrastructure, thus benefiting companies like us. Now coming to the financial performance of the quarter and the first half of the financial year. During the QI F22, we reported a total income of 501 crores compared to 595 crores in million. Quarter 2 FY21. The execution during the quarter was impacted by delay in particular project due to inability to import the required grade of steel from Germany. This delay was caused due to the flood in Germany, and we are not able to receive the steel on time. But now the required steel has reached our factory and the order is being executed and will be completed by this quarter. The EBITDA for the quarter stood at 532 million compared to 603 million in Q2 FY21 with 10.6% EBITDA margin, and PAT for the quarter is rupees 245 million with a margin of 4.9%. For the first half, we reported revenues of 911 crores compared to 1005 crores in H1 FY21, and the EBITDA for the first half stood at 98.2 crores with an EBITDA margin of 10.8%. Our profit after tax for the first half was 43.8 crores as compared to 44.4 crores for H1 FY21. We continue to see strong traction in demand, which is reflected in our order book, which stands at 1350 crores as on date, which is to be executed in the next 6 to 7 months, and we have an active bid book of approximately 15,000 crores. During the quarter, our credit rating has been upgraded by CRISIL. Our rating for the long-term borrowing is CRISIL A stable, and for the short-term is CRISIL A1. Our ability to generate positive cash from operation has helped us significantly to reduce short-term borrowings, and as on 30th September, our gross debt is at 0.08 with a cash-to-cash equivalent of 986 million. Now coming to update on the CAPEX, our plans to enter the ERW steel business are on track. We have started the construction of the building and have ordered the required machinery to manufacture the ERW steel pipes. We are hopeful that the unit will be up and running by Q1 FY23 and we will be able to generate the revenue from this segment next financial year. The higher oil prices is a good indicator of the capex to be made related in oil and gas pipeline infrastructure by the oil and gas giants. However, high prices of key materials remains a cause of concern, but things have started to improve and now the EPC players and contractors have started to pass on the price hike. With the developments happening in the oil and gas sector and the water infra-related sector, we are witnessing a lot of inquiries and traction in our products from the domestic and international markets and are in constant touch with clients to secure new orders. We expect that our enhanced manufacturing capabilities and excellent execution capabilities will be enabled to scale our business overall. And overall, we remain committed to our set agenda of delivering consistent and profitable growth. This is from our side. We can now open the call from Q&A.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. First question is from the line of Rishikesh Oza from Robo Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Very good morning. So my first question is the order book of 1,350 crores. If you could indicate what execution are you going to maintain over here?
What is the execution? 1,315 crores execution. Yeah, this is the execution as already mentioned over there. Between next 6 months, we will be able to execute this.
So in next 6 months, 1,350 crores will be executed, right?
Should be, yeah, should be.
Okay. And so we have, operating cash flows of around 230 crores for H1. So is this kind of sustainable?
Mr. Gupta?
Yeah. This kind of cash flows are sustainable because it is the operating cash flows generally depends on the working capital cycle. So for the H1, we got a good amount of this receivables realized. So that's the reason this this operating cash flow is positive this time.
So are you saying that on an annualized basis, around 400 crores of operating cash flows is a sustainable level going ahead also?
It is difficult to say, but our operating cash flows would be positive for the year even.
Okay. And so what would be our FY23 revenue guidance?
The revenue guidance we already given last year with the 2,300, and considering the order book position and first quarter it was little bit less. This 2 quarter is going to do the much better than first quarter.
So FY23, I meant actually.
FY23, because the ERW pipe turnover also coming, and there will be that turnover also will be added to this turnover. That's why our guidance we are going to release in the next month. Then we will be more comfort to announce the ERW exact production date. Then we will be added to 500 crore additional turnover, whatever the regular turnover is coming.
Okay. And so what margins are we going to maintain going ahead and next year?
Right now our margin you see we did between 10.5 to 11-12%. We are hopefully to continue the EBITDA. We will maintain the EBITDA continuously.
Okay. And my last question, sir, what was the gross debt you mentioned?
Gross debt is almost nothing. The term loan is zero.
Correct.
The working capital whenever we
Except for some amount of outstanding on working capital account, we doesn't have any kind of long-term liability in our books.
So that impact will see on interest cost, right? So how much will we be saving on interest cost then?
See, interest cost, we compare our Q1 to Q2. Q1 it was 13 crores. In this Q2 we have around 8.5 crores. So whatever the 8.5 crores at the present level of operations is really maintainable.
So 8 crores you'll be maintaining for ahead quarters, you are saying?
Maybe because in case of additional business, if you go by percentage to turnover, then our finance cost would be in the range of 1.6 to 2%.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. That's it from my side, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, to ask a question, please press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Khushbu Shah, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, if you can guide me with what is the domestic and the export mix for the first half, and out of the pending order book, how much will be exported? And also, if you can share the breakup between oil, gas, and water, that would be great.
Our export, the order book is around 1350, 1,350 crore. The export would be approximately 300 crore, and the rest 1,000 crore you can say is a local, mostly oil and gas sector. The water sector is very minimal, maybe very small amount, 100 crore water, 1,000 crore for oil and gas, and 300 crore export roughly.
Okay. And sir, what is the main reason for debt reduction in debt? And going forward, what are the levels we can expect, and what is the targeted debt to equity?
Our targeted, so far as our current level of operations, targeted level of should be at the present level, that is less than 0.1. For the future projects, what we are undertaking, like ERW, and we are thinking for stainless steel project also. So for the new project, of course, the debt equity ratio would be in the allowable levels.
Okay. And so during the first half, we have write-off 6.5 crores of bad debt. So was this related to any past projects and current projects? And for the whole year, what is the expected bad debt to be written off?
I couldn't understand.
Bad debt related to past projects, and going forward, what is the expected?
Yeah, the whatever amount we have written off, that has related to the projects executed 2 to 3 years back. And so far as future position for bad debts to be written off, see, we have some non-current assets of, you might have seen the balance around 40 crores. But most of them, even though it is non-current, but most of the receivables are recoverable. So to keep the process continue, when we feel the receivables are not recoverable, we will take the write-offs in the books. But chances are bright that whatever non-current receivables are there, that should be realized.
Okay, okay. And sir, if you can share us, like in the opening remarks, you mentioned that there were that orders were delayed due to, like, orders were not executed due to delay in receiving raw materials. Like, if you can share us with what had been the revenues not booked in the quarter.
Your voice is very going. Can you be a little mellow?
Sorry?
Can you just repeat your question? Can you talk a little slower? Your voice is echoing. We can't get your question clearly.
Okay. Now, is it audible? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, sir, in the opening comments, you mentioned that some orders were not executed due to delay in receiving raw materials. So if you can share with us what had been the revenues not booked in the quarters.
Yes. Roughly, because of the flood in Germany, we got the raw material delayed, and the total project was cost of 200 crore, which is being produced this quarter, and it will come in this quarter rather than last quarter. Last quarter, we missed around 100 crore from that projects.
Okay. And sir, lastly, if you can help me with any plans to raise further promoter holding.
Promoter holding, we are comfortable position, and because in a year we cannot do more than 5%, which we already going to convert our warrant. That's why there is a permissible limit we see, and what is the balance out is there, and then we will increase our equity.
Okay. And sir, what is the position of the pledged share, and by when will it be zero pledged?
Pledged share only one institute, State Bank of India, that we have given for temporarily for the project loan of ERW, this thing, and we hope to release very soon.
Okay, okay. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Divyanshu, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. My question is, what is the status on allotment of shares of the Man Infra? We have not yet received those particular shares. And if you can throw some light on that particular part.
Yes, sir. The matter is sub judice in Bombay High Court because as regard to our company, Man Industries India Limited, they complied all the formalities for the allocation. We have closed the book and we handed over the register to Bombay High Court as well as to the Man Infra. We have handed over everything up. So our role is over. Now they have to issue the new share. For that, we also requested on behalf of the shareholder to Bombay High Court as soon as possible, kindly resolve this issue to shareholders should get their shares. And because of the COVID, last 1.5 years very slow. Now the court is started. We hope to resolve very soon.
So within the next 6 months, can we expect this thing to be resolved? That the shares will be received by the shareholders?
Yes, sir. Shareholder will get the share. But as regard to Man Industry, we close the books.
No, I agree with you, but it is just that the fact that it is not yet been received by the shareholders. I agree with you that you have closed the books and everything, but it's yet to be received. It's almost 2 years that the shares are yet to be received, 1.5 years.
Yeah, sir. That's why I am telling you.
Yeah.
We are approaching to the court. We already approached to the court. The shareholder should get the shares from Man Infra Projects, which is
okay.
Under our control, that company. And that's why we are requesting on behalf of shareholder once again to Bombay High Court, which open now. Our shareholder should get the share. Maybe 2 weeks again we are going to make the reattempt.
Okay, sir. My second question is on the interest cost that your financing cost that you were saying that it is going to continue for the same quarters ahead. If I look at the balance sheet for 30th of September, our gross debt, basically the long term and short term, is only 71 crores. So still you feel that this 8 crore is going to be there each and every quarter going ahead?
Can you mellow your voice? It's too loud.
It's cracking actually.
Is it clear now, sir?
Yeah, now it's somewhat better.
Yeah, so what I was trying...
request to Mr. Divyanshu to please stay a bit away from your phone device.
Yeah, so sir, my question was on the gross debt. If I look at the gross debt as on 30th of September, both the long term and the short term, it is appearing at 71 crores. Our financing cost as on 30th of September for the quarter end was 8 crore rupees. You mentioned in one of the earlier comments that it is going to be the same going in the quarter ahead as well. I just wanted to check, are we going to increase the borrowing, basis which you feel that this financing cost is going to be same for the quarters ahead? Because on 71 crores, 8 crore rupees debt, 8 crore rupees interest looks very high.
71 crore short-term loan is basically cash credit limits in the form of cash credit limits. Over and above, we have the non-fund based limits of 1,200 crores.
Okay.
LC bank guarantee charges, many of the charges we have to pay. That is parked under finance cost.
Okay. Sir, can I request if we can have that breakup later on in a presentation so we get a view of how much is the interest cost and how much is the overall LC and bank guarantee cost? That will help us basically analyze it better.
Sure.
Yeah, my other question was on the raw material cost. How are we hedging against the same now? Because our gross margin has reduced from quarter on quarter. So is there anything that we are taking to basically mitigate that particular cost?
No, now I will reply this regard. our steel, normally we book back to back, project to project, which is mostly covered. At least 90% is covered. But apart from steel, some commodities like many kind of plastics, chemicals, adhesives, fluxes, wires, also gone up last 1 year. But now market is absorbing in the price, and we are able to pass through in coming quarters. So whatever happened is happened, the cost increased, and that's why little bit impact on the profitability, but it is now already passed through.
Okay, so I can expect that the margin which is there is expected to increase next quarter only.
Should be.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, sir. That's it from my side.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Participants, to ask a question, please press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Amit Mehta, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Congratulations on the good set of numbers. Sir, I had a couple of questions. First, I wanted if you could share your thoughts on the current industry trends, because I wanted to understand how is the tendering and awarding of orders going on with the commodity prices that are high. Are we seeing new tenders opening up, or there are delays in the current ones?
So industry outlook, because of the steel prices gone up and now is stabilizing, and in other words we can say softening. Now is softening international market. So and whatever other commodities which impacted chemicals, plastic, etc. Now after going up little bit, come down and stabilize. So now our price formula is as per the new price, and the market is absorbing. So we are confident in coming all the tenders and whatever new business we got. Yesterday also we got new business. Future also we are bid around 15,000 crore bid. So then we are able to now the pass through. So whatever the hike is come in the market.
So what would be the pipeline for the tenders? So if there are any tenders you already applied to or somewhere we applying to, so any amount of that, and what is also the reward ratio that we get? So how much of a percentage can we hit in terms of getting the orders?
There is no percentage formula. We participate worldwide international tender as well as the domestic tender. Right now we have bid around 15,000 crore bid worldwide. We can't say what is the formula, but we see how much we can take, what is the delivery time, what slot is available, the lot of formulas. Accordingly, we go aggressively, then take the order. So that is a very big formula, but success rate, percentage, etc., we cannot define here. But we take our business, whatever we need, we are confident to take the business because our strength, our vendor approvals, old company, successful company. So we are confident to continue to see the growth also in future.
Understood, sir. Sir, also, I think you already mentioned in the opening comments, but I missed it. So when do we plan to start the ERW facility, and what is the current progress with respect to the same?
The current progress is, sir, all the equipment already purchased. The building work is going on. Land acquisition done, building work is going on, and we hope to receive the equipment 2020 beginning 22, and we are expecting commissioning the quarter 1.
Quarter 1 FY23.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And sir, with respect to this ERW pipe segment also, I wanted to understand the competitive landscape and what is the market size that we are targeting, any internal threshold?
Market size, sir, we are coming at 125,000 metric ton. API grade, we make only API grade. The API grade market size roughly you can consider is 500,000 ton Indian size. And most of the clients nowadays, apart from oil and gas, the city gas distribution system, which is newly started last 5 years, and it is growing very fast. So the next 10 years, all the winners of the city gas, they have to complete their capex program, and that's what we are aiming to supply to them. Some of our clients right now for SAW pipe, and this will be the supplement with the same clients and new clients also.
Okay. Also, sir, with this budget allocation that has increased, if you can throw some light on this water segment also, are we seeing any order tendering happening, and what is the target? Again, some targets that we have that we can take from this segment?
Sir, the water segment is very potential in our country, but the budget allocation from central government is limited. State government suffering a lot of because of the COVID and diversion of the fund. Whatever we have done last year in the COVID, whatever we are doing this year, so we have considered water segment revenue only 10% of our turnover.
Okay.
Water segment is very, very potential. Now, after the COVID, central government attention is going, Nal Se Jal, etc., etc. There will be the shining star. I hope 23 onward will be much more work on the water segment, and we have the good capacity. We will be utilized more capacity in coming years.
Understood. Makes sense, yeah. So last question from my end. Are we looking at any particular state region across the country wherein we want to, especially in the water segment?
Sir, we have the 2 units right now, one Gujarat, one Madhya Pradesh. And we have the sufficient capacity to utilize. So we do not want to make the new capex. First, we want to utilize capacity fully, and then we will see how the market and central government is giving the budget allocation, water development, and then we have the capability to enhance our capacity anytime.
Understood. So one more question, sir, is basically, again on the water only, what are the margins that we can expect? Will it be similar to oil and gas, or is there some other deviation that we can expect?
Water normally is a low EBITDA, not like oil and gas. And oil and gas, our is major bread and butter, 90% revenue from oil and butter, where we get 11 to 12%, 10 to 12 in last few years is our average. And export also, we have done the wonderful job last year. Water our limited, water EBITDA also limited. But depend on which side, which location, this is a little bit is lower, we can say. Or volume is high.
So the volume for water is high, but the margins are low. Right? Yes. Okay, sir, again, one last question, if I may. In this water segment, what kind of revenues do we expect once we start our processes, and how long will it take to reach 100% capacity and reflect it to our financials also?
Yeah, no, we are ready. We have the capacity. We have a separate mill for water. We have the good capacity available. Now our revenue will be approximately 10% right now.
Okay.
Or we can enhance. We can take the more orders, more flows. Once their flow from the state government funds and central government grant to them, make them more easy in future. So we are ready, then we can go in a much bigger top line. So we are ready.
Yeah, understood. Thank you so much. That's it from my side. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, to ask a question, please press star and 1. As there are no questions from the participants, I now hand the conference over to Mr. Nikhil for closing comments.
Thank you everyone for your participation in Q2 and H1 FY22 earnings call. In case of any further queries, feel free to get in touch with Pareto Capital. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On behalf of Man Industries India Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.